Dear student, welcome to the MSBT's online platform. Myself, Professor Harish Ringe, HOD Civil, working at CSMSS College of Polytechnic, Kanchanwadi, Aurangabad. MSBT has brought a curriculum of building construction in very digital platform, and we are studying about the fourth chapter of building construction, wherein in this lecture we are going to study about the joints in the stone masonry along with its sketches. So in this video we are going to study about the joints in stone masonry, and different joints are butt joint, riveted or lap joint, table or bed joint, cramped joint, plug joint, dowel joint, rusticated joint, and joggle joint. So basically, these are the different joints available while going for an construction of the masonry, and that's why every civil engineer must know about the different types of the joints in stone masonry. Depends on the condition and the criteria, the one should go for such a selection of the particular type of the joints in the construction of stone masonry. So as earlier we have seen that we are studying about the building construction, wherein these 6 steps are there, or 6 topics are there, in which we are studying about the select suitable type of masonry for building structure. And in this, till now we have studied about 3 contents, and now we are going to study about the joints in stone masonry along with sketches. So in this particular chapter, we are going to study about describe the major features of the joints in stone masonry. What are the different types of the joints in stone masonry? You will able to enlist different types of joints in stone masonry. Then after studying this session, you will be able to explain the following terms. What do you mean by butt joint, table joint, cramped joint, and rusticated joint? So these all things you are going to get from this. So till now we have studied about unit 1, 2, 3. And in this third unit, we are studied about salient features of the brick masonry and major features of the stone masonry. And depend on the previous study, we will have one question. So enlist different types of the bonds in brick masonry. To just recall your study or learning, this question is there. So just pause your video and write down the answer of this question. If you are not wrong, this will be the answer on your paper. The different types of the bonds are header bond, stretcher bond, English bond, and the Flemish bond. Right? So just now come to the next point. What are the different joints available in the stone masonry? So there will be a first and foremost part, that is a butt joint. This is the most commonly used joint in stone masonry. So the raised edges of 2 adjacent stones are placed side by side. So this is the general joint that we are providing into the stone masonry, in which the surface of the both stones touching each other are just kept one aside another, and then jointing is being provided, and that's why this particular joint is called as a butt joint. Then riveted or lapped joint. This type of joint is provided in arches, gables, copings, etc. to prevent the possible movement of the stones. The length of the rivets or lap depends on the nature of the work, but it should not be less than 70 mm. So you can observe the joint on this figure. So it is a riveted, means the rivet like joint is there, or lapped joint means at here you can observe that the one stone is locked into the another by providing a riveted joint, and that's why this type of joints can be provided at such a kind of the arches, gables, copings, where the movement of the stones can be possible, and that's why such a kind of joint we can use in the particular type of the junctions. Then next one is the table or bed joint. This joint is used to prevent a lateral movement of stones, such as in sea walls where the lateral pressure is heavy. The joint is made by forming a joggle in the bed of the stone. The height of the projection is kept about 30 to 40 mm, while the width is kept equal to about one third the breadth of the stone. So basically, this type of joint is being provided where the lateral pressures are there. So for example, from on this particular bond or this particular stone masonry or this stone, if lateral pressures are applying on this side or this side, then this should not be displaced from its place, and that's why the table or bed joint is being provided. So basically, the height of this joint is nothing but 30 to 40 mm, and the length should not be or should be equals to the one third of the width of the stone, and then only the functioning of joint will be in proper way. So this is nothing but table or bed joint. Then the next type is cramp joint. The joint uses a metal cramp instead of dowels. Holes made in the adjacent stones should be of dovetail shape. The cramps are usually of non-corrosive metals such as gunmetal, copper, etc., with their ends turned down to a depth of 4 to 5 centimeter. The length, width and thickness of cramps vary from 20 to 30 centimeter, 2 to 4 centimeter and 5 mm to 10 mm respectively. So what exactly we are doing in this type of the joint is we are going to provide a cramp over here. So such a kind of the open space is being provided, and the cramp is being placed over here with the help of some non-corrosive metal over here, and after putting the cramp over here, some another material is being placed to fill up this gap over here. So after this, we are going to see the plug joint. The plug joint is an alternative to cramp joint. As you can see the figure, it is nothing but something like the cramp joint. It is but alternative to the cramp joint, and it consists of making a plug holes of dovetail shape in the sides of adjacent stones. After placing the adjacent stones, a common space for plug is formed, which is filled with the molten lead. Sometimes rich cement ground is used in the place of molten lead. So here, if you observe, two different stones are meeting over here, and two dovetail shapes cutting is done for providing or putting the molten lead over here to make a proper jointing of both the stones, and this is nothing but a plug joint. Then dowel joint. This is a simple type of a joint used to ensure stability of the adjacent stones against displacement or sliding. The joint is formed by cutting rectangular holes in each stone and inserting dowels of a hard stone, gunmetal, brass or copper. These dowels are set in cement mortar. So basically what is being done, so the cut of rectangular shape is being done on both the stones on the edges, and material which is of gunmetal, brass or copper is placed in between this cut section, and it is being filled with the cement mortar. So such a kind of the joint is being provided for stone masonry, and this type of joint is called as a dowel joints. Now just come to the next point, rusticated joint. The rusticated joint is used in those stones whose edges are sunk below the general level, such as for plinth, quoin, outer walls of lower story, etc. Such a joint gives massive appearance to the structure. Generally, what exactly is being done in this type of the junction or the joint, the particular shape is being performed or provided to the stones one over the another, and due to this type of the cutting provided, it gives a very good appearance, and that's why this type of the jointing is being provided at the lower portion of the sunks below the general levels for plinth, quoins and outer walls of lower story, etc. So this is nothing but rusticated joint. wherein in rusticated joint you can observe you are having V joint, channel joint, molded joint, and V and channeled joint in combination. Then next one is a joggle joint. This type of joint is provided to prevent sliding along the side joints. The joint is made by providing projection or tongue in one stone and corresponding groove or sinking on the adjacent stone. So in this, what is being done exactly? You can see that the groove is there. So you can see that the frog-like, you can see the frog-like shape is being provided over here. And this for getting locked with another stone, a tongue is being provided. So when you are placing these two of the stones with each other, it's getting locked, and that's why such a kind of joint is called as a joggle joint. Depends on these different types of the stones. These are some of the word problems. So just take a pen and paper and enlist the different problems that could be asked in examination. So enlist different types of the joint in stone masonry. Then explain with a sketch crimp joint. Then enlist any 4 joints used in stone masonry along with its suitability. Then explain briefly with sketch joggle joint. Explain in detail rusticated joint. So these all are the problems or the questions that could be asked into the examination. Hope you have understood all the explained things. Keep studying and keep watching the videos on MSBT's online teaching learning platform. Thank you very much.